You know what it's like to blend into the background and go unnoticed? Not because you want to be invisible, but because it seems easier, safer, or even less exhausting to try to compete with all of the noise. Maybe you learned early on that keeping your head down and your needs small was the best way to survive your day. Welcome back to Off the Beaten Couch. I'm Bonnie Adams, a licensed marriage and family therapist who specializes in addictions and families. And today I want to talk about something I know a lot of us carry quietly. What it's like to be the lost child in a family where addiction takes up all of the air in the room. The lost child role isn't about being shy or quiet by nature. The lost child adapts by minimizing their presence, not out of preference, but as a way to survive in families where attention is consumed by crisis, conflict, and drama. Instead of competing for space, the lost child learns how to make themselves as unobtrusive as possible. Often the lost child spends a lot of time alone, escaping into hobbies like books, daydreaming, or video gaming. They may appear easygoing or independent, but this self-sufficiency is often rooted in a deep sense of being forgotten and overlooked. Living as the lost child carries a heavy emotional burden. Loneliness isn't about being alone in a room. It's about feeling emotionally disconnected from those who should feel the closest. This leads to a sense of emotional numbness, where feelings are muted or ignored because they're too painful or even unsafe to express. This numbness might show up as a difficulty identifying emotions, feeling empty, or struggling with anxiety and depression. It's a protective shield, but over time it makes it more difficult to be able to connect with oneself and with others. There's often a deep longing to be noticed and valued, but also a fear that stepping forward will only bring disappointment or rejection. The impact of the lost child role does not end with childhood. As adults, lost children may find themselves struggling in relationships, sometimes without even realizing why. Patterns of withdrawal, self-isolating, or avoiding conflict make it very difficult for them to form deep connections. A lost child may have difficulty asserting their needs in romantic relationships, often going along to get along. Friendships may remain surface level, with a fear of being a burden or taking up too much space. Lost children might avoid leadership roles, avoid recognition, or struggle with imposter syndrome. Cultural and family expectations can reinforce the lost child role. In some families, being quiet, obedient, or good is highly valued, especially in times of crisis. Certain cultures may place a premium on not expressing emotions openly or in keeping family struggles private. Gender roles can often play a part. We encourage our daughters to be accommodating and self-sacrificing, and we encourage our sons to tough it out and avoid vulnerability. These external pressures can make it even more difficult for the lost child to break out of their role. Invisibility becomes intertwined with ideas of loyalty, respect, or strength. These coping strategies are adaptations to the environment. They're not personal failings. And healing for the lost child is about gradually reclaiming presence, voice, and connections. Here are some practical, realistic steps that you can take if you find yourself in the lost child role. First, let's practice naming your needs and feelings. Learning to identify your needs and your feelings is a foundational step. This helps you reconnect with yourself and reverse that emotional numbness. Have simple daily check-ins. If you use a feeling chart or an app, this can help make this process more accessible for you. Try a daily journal prompt like, what am I feeling right now? Or what do I need today? Even if the answer is I don't know, the act of asking builds that self-awareness. Next, you can try practicing small acts of self-advocacy. Speaking up for yourself, even in small ways, helps build confidence and signals to others that you know that your preferences are important. Try choosing a meal or expressing a preference for an activity. Somebody asks you, hey, would you like to go do something? Or what would you like to do? Express a preference. Yeah, let's go bowling. Let's go to a movie. Answer honestly when somebody asks you how you are. Answer honestly when somebody asks you about your day. These small acts build the muscle of self-advocacy. Reconnect with your interests and your curiosity. Rediscovering your interests and your hobbies helps you to develop your own identity outside of the chaos of your family and their expectations. Revisit something that you enjoyed as a child. Maybe pick up drawing, building, exploring, reading. Try something new just for you, and don't worry about it if you're not good at it the first time you try it. You're not going to be good at something the first time that you try it. But dating yourself, taking yourself out. Do I even like chocolate ice cream? What do I like? Start learning who you are and developing your identity outside of your family's expectations and the expectations of this role that you had to adapt in order to survive so much chaos in your family system. Let's practice setting gentle boundaries. Boundaries are essential for protecting your energy and developing autonomy. If family conflict arises, give yourself permission to leave the room or take a break. Politely decline invitations or requests that feel overwhelming or draining for you. It's okay to say no. It's a complete sentence. Therapy and support groups offer safe spaces to practice being seen and heard and to process feelings of invisibility. Look for therapists who are familiar with addictions and family systems. Join an Al-Anon group or a group in your area that can help you build a stronger sense of identity, develop healthier relationships, and greater emotional resilience. Lost children often judge themselves very harshly for not doing enough, being too quiet, or not fitting in. It's important for you to remember that these adaptations are not personal flaws. It's the result of adapting to a family system where it felt safer to be invisible. Remember, changing long-standing patterns takes time. Practice self-compassion and patience, even when it feels awkward or you're unsure at first. Every step you take toward making yourself visible is worth it. Healing for the lost child is not about making yourself the loudest person in the room. It's about allowing yourself to take up space, to matter, and to be known. Not just for what isn't done, but for who you truly are. Small acts of self-expression and connection can help you reverse years of learned invisibility and open doors to more authentic living. The journey of the lost child is about moving from invisibility to presence, from silence to self-expression. Every step toward being seen and being heard is meaningful, not just for the individual, but for the family system as a whole. Thank you for joining me on Off the Beaten Couch. If you're interested in learning more or sharing your thoughts, please leave a comment or reach out. Next time, we're going to explore the mascot, the family member who uses humor to lighten the load.